Okay guys, now we're going to actually learn how to balance equations. So here I have 3 equations. I may have to move these around just to make sure we have enough room to work. And the first thing I want to do on this equation is identify all the elements that I have present. And for this, I'm going to treat NO3, this is not working right, NO3 as a unit. I'm not going to break that up. So I'm going to list Na, and I have NO3, and I have PB, and I have O. And so on the reactants, or the left side of this, I have 1 sodium, I have 1 NO3, I have 1 PB, and I have 1 O. On my product side, I have 2 NAs, I have 2 NO3s, I have 1 PB, and I have 1 O. So it looks like I need to deal with sodium and nitrate, and luckily they're together over here. And if I could just double how much I have sodium and nitrate, then everything would be balanced, and I can do that by putting a 2 here. That multiplies through to both parts, and so that would change this one to a 2 and this one to a 2. And then this would stay as 1, 1, and 1. And you don't have to write those numbers in. I'm just writing them in to show you how I got there. And everything is balanced. So let's do another one. We have Ag, we have I, we have Fe, and we have CO3. And since CO3 again has not changed on the 2 sides of the equation, I am not going to break it apart. So I have 1 silver, I have 2 irons, I have 1 iodide, and I have 3 carbonates. I have 2 silvers, 3 iodides, 1 iron, and I have 1 carbonate. So, doesn't matter which ones I decide to do first. Let's go ahead and take care of silver. So I would need, if I put it 2 here though, I need 3 of those. And since those are together, I'm probably going to have to go to 6 silvers. And so I'll put a 6 here, and I'll put a 3 here. And so that makes that one 6 and that one 6. That also changed carbonate on this time to 3. And that changed iodine to 6. So what are we going to have to do then with iron and iodide? Well, I need them to balance, and so let's balance the iodide. And since I have 6 here, I'm going to need 6 here, so that means, oh wait, I did that backwards. This side is 6, this is still 3. And so since this side is 6, now this side is 3, I would multiply by 2 to get this to 6. And then my iron is now 2 as well. And it looks like everything's the same on both sides of the equation. And so this is still a 1. Again, you don't have to put that 1 in. So let me scroll this page down a good bit. Now, here's a big hint. Carbon, you're going to do hydrogen and oxygen last. Anytime you have hydrogen and oxygen, you probably want to do them last if water is present, because I have to balance them here. And so the first thing I'm going to want to do is balance carbon, then I will balance the rest. And so I have carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. So I have 2 carbons, I have 4 hydrogens, and I have 2 oxygens here and 2 oxygens here for a total of 4 oxygens. On the other side, I have 1 carbon, I have 2 hydrogens, and I have 1 here and 2 there, which makes 3. So the very last thing I'm going to want to do is this oxygen, because I have it by itself over here, and that's very helpful. So, oh, brought something up I didn't mean to. Okay, so I'm going to do carbon. So I want to make this into a 2, so that means I put a 2 here in front. Okay, that changed the number of oxygens I have over here to 5. Let's do hydrogen next. I have 4 on the reactants and 2 on the products, so I need a 2 here to make this 4. And that changed my oxygen number again. I've got 4 here plus 2 more, which gives me 6 total. And that means, am I going to be able to balance this as it is without using a fraction? And if I want to get from 4 to 6, I can't do that, can I? So I'm going to grab my eraser, and I'm going to erase this 2. Oh, wait, got the wrong tool. Come on, give me my eraser. There we go. Erase the 2, erase the 2, and erase the 2, erase the 4, erase the 6, and go back to my writing tool, and that's still 3. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to do it with just 2 carbons, so let's go ahead and make this 4 carbons by multiplying by 2 here. That makes this 8, and it makes this 4 plus 2 is 6. So now, let's do our carbons. I need to make this 4, so I put a 4 here, and that makes this oxygen now 8, 9. Now I have 8 hydrogens, and so I want to get 8 hydrogens over here, so I would have to multiply this by 4 to get 8 there, which changes this from, there's 8 here plus 4 more is 12 now. And now I think I can do it. I could have done it before. I made a mistake, but this actually proves a good point. So now I need to get a total of 6 more oxygens, or I've got 4 here, and I need a total of 12, so that means I have 4. I need some number to equal 12. So X has to equal 8, and since this has a 2 subscript, that means I need 4 here. And that gives me 4 plus 8 is 12, so that makes this 12. Now, let me just erase right here so we have some room to work. If you look, and I'll use a red pen, here I have a 2, here I have a 4, and a 4. I need the lowest whole number coefficients possible, and these can all be divided through by 2. So this should be 1, 2, 2, and 2. And that is actually the correct answer. So sometimes I make mistakes. You have to keep me honest. But I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please ask in class, and I will make sure to go over it. And we're going to start balancing these. Okay, see you in a bit.